So today we're talking about the 6 ways in which men and women break up, long-lasting relationships end, and in general, people have these fights not because of something serious, but because they're just looking at things in 2 completely different ways. And all fights fall into these 6 categories. And I think women most times initiate these things, not because they're bad or because they're evil, but because it's just part of seeing where a man stands and what kind of person he is. And it's natural for a female to do this even when she is in a relationship with a guy. Because like a relationship is supposed to be something that could bear children, and it could be like the rest of your life for a female. So she needs to have a good perspective and a good way to gauge whether a guy is for her or whether the relationship is a right fit. And it doesn't mean that guys should get angry about these things, but it should really mean that guys should know how to answer it and where the girl is coming from. So the first thing is the emotional containment test. And this is basically where a girl vents and says something that frustrates her. And the guy usually thinks that it's his job to fix it, to give her a solution for the problem. So the girl might say something along the line of, you wouldn't believe what happened to me at work, and then she will go off to list something really disastrous that happened to her, right? Or she will say, I need to vent for a minute, and list some really devastating stuff that happened to her. And the guy might or might not think that is devastating, but he usually fails the test when he says something along the lines of, why are you being so negative? You think you have problems? Just try dealing with my job. Or, I can't deal with this drama right now, so just pipe it down for a minute. Or he says something that, in general, doesn't validate the girl and makes the whole thing to her about him. So instead of dealing with the situation, he compares it to him, or he shuts her down. And now her stress seems to be doubled, because she has her own stress, and now she has the stress of this guy here that is getting on like a drama queen himself, right? And what the guy really thought in his mind is that, she is complaining again. If I don't fix this now or shut this down now, this will never end. And I need to stop this noise from happening now so I could get back to my peace, quiet, and my harmony as a guy, right? And what she thought is, I needed comfort, not competition. And if he can't even listen to me without making it about him, then emotionally, why am I even here? And is this really worth it? You see, the guy had a completely different way he was viewing it, and the girl have a completely different way, right? The guy, in this instant, looking to keep the emotions steady to go about doing the things he might be doing. I don't know, playing video games, watching some sport. I don't know, right? I don't want to go there. But the way how he should have answered was, that song's exhausting. Do you want me to just listen, or do you want some advice on this matter? And he could just sit there and let her talk it out and only move to solutions if she asks. But the guy is not to belittle her emotions, not to make it about him, not to stop it, not to solve it. It's really just to listen to her out and only suggest something when she asks. So that is the first one. The second one is the integrity and promises tests that a girl will put a guy through. So this one, the girl might ask something along the line of, weren't you going to fix that by Friday? Hey, did you handle that thing we were talking about yet? Did you remember to pay that bill? You told me you would follow up with the photographer. Did you do it? And how the guy feels is, he says to her back, oh my God, it is not a big deal. Why are you always on my case? Or he would say something along the lines of, if I said I'd do it, I would do it. I would do it in a bit when I get to it, okay? And, or he might say the classic, you are acting like my mother. Stop nagging all the time. And then he basically deflecting the blame off of him, blaming something on her tone, and making so that the fight isn't about the promise, it's about her attitude towards him and her confronting him. And why the guy does this is because he thinks to himself, she is keeping an unjust score on me, and she looking to catch me slipping. So it's better to fight back now than for me to admit that I dropped the ball there. And what she was really doing was she just wanted to know if something was handled. And in her mind, she thinking, if this guy can't follow through with something small, then how am I to trust them with something more serious? That is where the thoughts could go for the girl, right? So in a situation like this, the guy, to correctly answer a test like that, should have answered, you know what? You are right. I forgot and I missed the deadline. I will call him today and I will text you once I get a response. Or I will text you once I handle it. I'm going to handle it now. It's really to be towards the girl, to be direct, responsible, and proactive about the situation that she just reminded you about. And it's not, the girl is not testing this to end the relationship. It's just a small test, and guys can make it to be something more than it is. But really and truly, no girl is going to break up with a guy if he admits that he forgot to do some errand or something like that. Is in how he responds to it is what will cause the breakup. And the third way that people fight and break up is the leadership and logistics tests. So this is where this happens not even in relationships, like in the start and in the courting phase, right? Is where the girl asks, so where are you taking me tonight? What is the plan for later? Do you know where we are going out yet? Should I dress fancy or casual? What time are we leaving here? And the guy responds in, why do you always have to put this on me? You never appreciate how hard it is to plan something. You know what? Fine, forget it. We're not going anywhere then. And instead of the girl really asking him questions for her to know the logistics of the situation better and for her to make sure that he is going to lead her in this situation. And if the guy is steady in his leadership, he should not rage quit then, sulk, or the worst of them all, throw the decision back to her by telling her, you decide, or what time you want to leave, or what time you could get ready for. The guy is supposed to make the choice for her if the girl is putting him through this. She wants his leadership in this case. It's not to say that the guy should always choose where you're going or choose what you're eating and stuff. It's in this case, if the girl is asking it, he's supposed to give an answer and he's not supposed to swing it back at her. So in this situation, the guy answers hastily because he thought, she is testing me, wanting for me to pick the wrong thing so she could complain after. So it's better to dodge that right now than to say something and commit to something and start this fight. And what she was thinking was, all I wanted was a clear plan so I could relax. And now it feels as though he can't even handle a dinner or lunch choice. This is hard. So if this is hard, so what happens then with the bigger stuff? And it is a simple test of leadership and logistics, and the guy, instead of answering hastily, he should have answered, we're doing Chinese at 7:30. I reserved the table for us already. Even if that is not true, he could just say that and just call them after. Or, if you don't like that, I also have a reservation for sushi at 9:30 as a backup plan. The guy simply just needs to answer simple, confident, and without drama. because that is really how to pass the leadership and logistics test. Simple, confident, and staying clear of drama, showing that you will simply lead in a confident manner is not any big deal for you. So the fourth way in which people break up and stuff like that is the jealousy and attention test. This might be, I think this might be the most common one at the start of relationships before people get married and stuff like that. And it's things like the girl saying to the guy, you know, some guy at the gym last week said that I look stronger than the last time he saw me. Or the girl says, this guy at work kept asking me questions and trying to talk to me all day. I don't know what is up with him. Or the girl says, this guy told me today that I should be a model. Or this dude in the grocery wouldn't stop looking at me in every aisle that I was in. He was looking at me and checking me out. And how the guys would respond to this to fail is that they say, oh, so now you are entertaining the thought of other men and observing other men looking at you. Or if you want attention, just go and date him instead. Or the guy will say, don't play games with me, I'm not stupid. Or he will say something more or less along the lines of him sulking, accusing her, throwing a tantrum, or giving her an ultimatum. And then he pretty much taking a light comment from her and making it into a war. Taking offense for it, giving her ultimatum and giving her accusation that she is being unfaithful. When she didn't say she's being unfaithful, she was really just testing him to see how he would respond to it. Don't forget, unconsciously, the girl do none of this is, all of these things, the four of these things so far, and even the fifth and sixth, none of these things any girl ever said to herself, I am going to test this fool now and make sure he is okay. All these things are unconscious, just like breathing is unconscious, and it's not unconscious because females are bad. It is just instinct and it is natural. If you can't deal with instinct and natural things that females have, then it's either you don't deal with females or, you do something else. So what the guy, in this case now with the jealousy and attention test, what the guy was thinking is, she is hinting that she is losing interest in me. She wants me to compete. She wants me to compete for her attention, and I am not playing that game. I not compete. If she likes the attention there, she could go with that. This is what the guy thinking, and what the girl was really thinking is, I wanted to make him smile, show him that he better appreciate what he has now, or maybe tell me, yes, I matter, validate me. She really looking for validation in this situation, reassurance, and instead the guy then causing a fight to make her feel insecure and make it as though she did something wrong. But the guy is supposed to answer in this situation, like with the guy in the gym, the guy is supposed to answer something along the lines of, well, of course he would say looking stronger because you've been killing it in the gym recently and you have been making gains and you have been making progress. And the situation where a guy checking her out, the guy could answer, well, of course, that is what I saw in you first place, but thank God you're taking it on your mind. It's just for the guy to be playful, confident, and reaffirm her looking for attention or looking to make him jealous. He's not supposed to be controlling or show jealousy. He's supposed to show playful confidence, and in that he is secure with himself and his relationship, and he is secure with having her. And the next way in which people break up is when women put guys through the respect and boundaries test. It goes with the girl saying something like this: how can you share that joke about me with your friends? You know what? I'd rather we keep these matters between us private. Don't go telling your mom or your friends about this. Or don't raise your voice at me like that, And how the guy feels at these tests is the guy says, "You are way too sensitive. I was just joking." Or the guy says, "You always trying to control me and take control in this relationship." Or the guy says, "You are making a big deal out of nothing." Basically, he dismisses the guy responding in a wrong way is if he dismisses her need for respect, making her feel unsafe and unheard. And the reason why a guy would answer wrong in this case is because the guy would think, she is trying to control me, and if I give in here, I lose power. So the guy tries not to supplicate, not to put her on a pedestal, but to hold her frame. And what the girl thinks now that causes the fight is, I was just asking for basic respect. And if he can't honor that, then does he even value me as a person? And in order to avoid the girl thinking like that, the guy was supposed to answer, my bad, you are right. I will just make sure that doesn't happen again. Or anything along the lines of him acknowledging that she was looking for respect and for a boundary, him apologizing in a confident manner that shows that he wasn't offended, and he said that he will adjust and move on, and it is forgotten, and no feelings are toted here. He just saying, you know what? I understand, I respect your boundary, and I would adjust now, and I'm sorry for doing that, and move on, change the conversation immediately. Immediately, if you start carrying feelings and feeling emotional baggage in a situation like that, you fail that test. That test is simply just to acknowledge her boundaries, to show that you respect her, and move on happily. And the last way in which relationships end and people break up is the support and growth test that women put guys through. It's when the girl comes and says to the guy, you know, I have been thinking about starting a course soon. Or, do you think I should apply for this new position in work? Or, I want to start going to the gym and working out again. Or, I want to go to some yoga class or dance class and start doing something in the afternoons. Or the girl says, just the girl asking for his support towards a new idea that she has, right? And the guys, strangely enough, fail this test when they answer, what a waste of time. You would never stick to that. You can't afford to be distracted right now. Why you always keep coming up with these random things? The guy kind of thinks that he is being practical, but the girl hears that he has a lack of belief in her. And the guy might be saying these things and trying to be practical because he is either scared of the girl not following through with it and then being disappointed, or because he is scared of wasting money and he is frugal with money and he doesn't want her to try something new with either money or time. And what the guy is really doing is he trying to protect her, protect the relationship, and he thinking to himself, if I discourage her now, she won't fail later. So it's better to try to keep things stable from this point. And what the girl hears when he does this is, well, if he doesn't believe in me, and if the person who is supposed to be the closest one to me doesn't believe or support my growth, maybe he doesn't want me to grow at all. And this test is really to show, for the guy to show support and growth towards her, and it's not for the guy to try to be practical or to judge it from a practical, pragmatic point of view. The guy not supposed to give any opinion here. He's not supposed to be pragmatic, he's not supposed to be sensible about it. He's supposed to just show support and growth. And how he should answer is along the lines of, that sounds exciting. Would you need anything from me to make this happen? Is really showing a level of encouragement and collaboration towards her ideas because it is her ideas. And And after showing this level of encouragement and collaboration, after that, he could then voice practical concerns to her. But when the test is happening, you guys not allowed, they should not be practical about, or negative then about the situation. They're supposed to have all support and towards her dreams then. And then later on, bring up, but what if, in a gentle manner. And this one is really the trickiest one, because if the guy doesn't support the girl here, it shows that he doesn't have confidence in her and he doesn't value her ambition and her self-worth. And when a guy fails at doing this, it could leave a girl feeling unsupported, and it says that she is unseen and not supported by the guy. And I think this might be the most common way for relationships to break up in my in things I have observed over the years. So this is something, if you think I left out anything that doesn't fall into one of these 6 categories, you could message me or comment and let me know. But I think these are the 6 ways in which all relationships end or go sour. Just relationships being fumbled by the guys, not because they didn't want the relationship, not because the girl didn't want a relationship, but just because of weird, simple misunderstandings.